I never met a girl like you before. Never met a girl like you before. Now you got me crawling and my knees are raw. 'Cause I never met a girl like you before. There's a weird story behind this because we watched a movie. Hi, John. Hey. We're here to talk about incest. Yeah. We watched a movie last night that John wanted to watch very much so. Very obscure movie called Spanking the Monkey. 1994, I believe. A young fella in it. Reminds you of a young Tony Perkins. Think Psycho. I think he played the actor in this movie played a young Tony Perkins in the sequel to Psycho. And it's so appropriate. John, well, yes, I guess we should stay on the train of thought and then we could talk about the I Ching number 16 today. Okay, we'll come back to it. Hiram is here today because he had similar experiences as John as a young boy. Another good friend of mine, I won't mention his name now, a fine musician, talented young man, he's in the theater. He had a strange incestuous type of psychologically incestuous. Psychologically incestuous relationships with a parent they're just as bad. But in this movie, the kid, a young fella coming out of law school, what am I crazy? Young fella going into medical school, and he has all these opportunities in front of him, but you tell he's deeply disturbed. You really don't know why. Until he's about to leave on a very important internship, a scholarship deal that he won. And he's called home, and he's not told why he's called home. And it's to take care of his mother who has broken her leg. His mother is like this very attractive, voluptuous woman. The father is like demented and he's like a salesman and all he cares about is like trying to make his own living and he's not that good at it. And his son wants to be a doctor, and he's very bright and gifted, but he's also very troubled. And the kid has to do all kinds of things, like for his mother. But you could just see. We can make the link available to you. It's very obscure, but John guided me to it yesterday, and then he said we want to talk about this. The upshot is this kid ended up having like total sex with his mother, right? And apparently it had been leading up to that his entire life. Right. Now, John, we'll talk about your case first. All right. Okay. So, Julia, abandoned me pretty much. My earliest memories, though, were with her in bed and with other men. If I was up crying I was in the same, it was a room sit. So I was an infant in the same room with her, and she'd bring home these men. And sometimes to keep me quiet, she'd bring me onto the bed with them. So I was aware of that happening. And it just seemed like, oh, well, everybody goes to bed with mommy. There's nothing wrong with that. It is, after all, mommy, right? And then Mimi took me away from that at age 4.5, 5. And Mimi became my parent. My mother would show up sporadically, not often at all, until I started really coming into my own as a handsome young man. And talented musician, right? Showed signs of being a talented musician. And she also had a nice voice, beautiful singing voice, and she was a good musician. Like you, Lena, she played accordion. That was one of my first instruments, but she taught me banjo. She encouraged me musically. Of course, that I was talking about when I was a teenager. She did none of those things when I was a child. Right. She was not there for me when I was a child. She did all these things as I was coming into my, raging young adulthood. And she sent me the most unbelievable mixed, not, these messages were not even mixed. I'm quite sure that I could have had sex with her. I'm quite sure. She intimated that she came on to my friends too. She did not, she liked being looked at and admired. She was a troubled person. A beautiful, vivacious, and talented person, but a troubled person with a lot of inner crisis. Is there anything? Well, I'm trying to think. Well, you wanted to bring up the recording you heard, right? And the world has heard this recording, and because it's been out there a long time, of John doing an audio diary that he started like the year before he was assassinated. He wanted to leave this audio diary for me. He wanted to leave this audio diary for me. Nobody talks about this, but it's out. It's been on the internet for over 10 years at least, because he first showed it to me 10 years ago, and I was like, wow. And John is talking about laying in bed with his mother when he was about 14, 15, and him just like starting to touch her breasts and her just laying there and letting him and waiting to see what he would do next. And he stopped. But he said in the tape, I should have just fucked her, because he didn't say it that way, but well, yeah, I kind of did. I should have just gone ahead and give it to her. That's what she presumably wanted me to do. Right. And I was not desirous of her. I just wanted to see what she had, going in her brain. Really? Yeah. Shortly after that, she died. She was killed. Right. Yeah, another year and a half or so later. And you blamed yourself. I felt wrapped up in the whole miserable thing in some crazy way, And you blamed yourself. I did. I thought maybe I'm wicked, But then I thought, no, she's the parent, so she's wicked. But then I thought, well, no, if she's wicked, she's my mother, so she gave birth to me, so I'm wicked. But you knew you weren't, right? Well, I always had you convincing me that I was an angel, so much the way I always did with you, right? So you always said, Johnny, stop. Don't feel that way. Things happen. This is life. God loves you. Yeah, it does sound like you. So that is, that's just like kind of a strange little backstory that gets ignored about John, that he openly, it's out there. It's out there. In his writings, in his recordings, and even in his songs. And, well, Hiram, yeah, hi. When we first started hanging out one night when we were drinking, Hiram's like, oh, my mother. She told me things growing up I did not want to know about her sex life and what she did. And really, yeah. And that was me. I remember this conversation. I was just like, whoa, ugh. And he was like, exactly. I swear to God, maybe it made me gay. John's laughing. I felt the same way. I was like, I think I'm becoming a bloody queer from this whole experience. It's so funny. You gotta laugh, right? It's insane. Yeah, we won't talk about infant molestation is not the same. But, which was unfortunately what happened to Lena. Good Lord, what a lot we are. But help me go. All right, infant molestation, psychological. Well, okay, we can get back to it. I can't remember where I was either. It's a heavy topic, right? So you wanted to make this, well, let's go to the I Ching number, enthusiasm, I Ching number 16 today. Enthusiasm was the draw. And that's our friend Charlie Watts also coming through, and we're going to be doing some drumming with him later. What we can say is that art and music will carry you through whatever bad memories plague you or psychological ills. You have to start cultivating something to do with your hands and your mind that will bring joy and light into the world. Right? Let's get a little light. Nice. So Hiram, but then you became our relationship. We were like brother and sister, me and my mom. We really were, by the time I moved to Florida, we were like brother and sister. In fact, she was like the child. Yeah, right. Something about your mother reminded me very much of my own mother. As a matter of fact, when I met her, when you had your slight relapse from recovery, and I went to see you that night, and your mother was there at your bedside, and she had this look on her face, this worried, embarrassed look, mortified look, bright blue eyes. Like I said, they were your eyes but blue. Blanche's eyes in blue, and I even wrote in our story. She was just like she just was like, this was exactly how my mother would react in this situation. That look of worry, fear, mortification. What can people be thinking of our family, right? And you became friends. And for a while after my childhood, I had a friendship stage with my mother too that lasted quite a while. But then it went. The happier you became. All right, Lena, here's the thing, right? Let it go. Yeah. Because you're as sick as your secrets. And we come from very sick families with a lot of secrets. And I don't see those secrets getting ironed out in this lifetime. And can I ask you, do you really care? No, I don't. I don't care anymore. What goes on with that bunch? Now pick me a room. Okay. What have we got? I gotta dust this picture off. This is terrible. Oh, I made a cross in it, yeah. Made a cross. Don't do your middle finger. I'm doing your middle finger. Yeah, things get dusty so fast in this weather. All right. Which one, John? I'm gonna say, give it the skulls again. All right. The unknowable. Oh, right. That was like, okay, the skull is the unknowable. We left off with that, didn't we? Yeah. Oh, and that's exactly what all the readings have been saying. And then one more, Berkana, the breakthrough. Today's card was the Magician, where John said, expect miracles. Those were his words to me when we woke up this morning. Good morning, Lena. Expect miracles. It is September 18th, 2023. That's 9/18, number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Do yourself a favor and give that one a listen today on YouTube. They also have a backward version. Also go in and listen to Carnival of Light by the Beatles, which is a very powerful subliminal message track put together by all the boys. But really, it's like Paulie's number 9. And throughout Carnival of Light, you can very clearly hear a backward loop that comes out sounding like Lena, Lena. What shall we do? Let's do that one. Alright. I don't think you need the light on, but you leave it up to you. I like the regular. Let me just wipe my nose. Oh, also, product placement. Flonase, but get the generic. If you're struggling with allergies and really getting like pulverized by them, this stuff does work. But read the instructions carefully and only use it once a day. Or I don't know what happens. Maybe your face falls off. I really don't know. Your nose falls off.